Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GEST Dota 2 Philippines Qualifiers. We are now stepping forward into the round of 8, and it's a much smaller world now. Feel Good Inc. facing off against the brand new MSI Evolution gaming team. For anyone who doesn't know, the Pinoy Dota scene has been undergoing a big reshuffle, and I actually wasn't sure a lot of the other top Dota 1 teams in the Pinoy scene have not been using their real rosters. They haven't been using the Dota 1 players. They've been using some stand-ins. They've been using some other players who prefer Dota 2, sort of Dota 2 specialists, I guess you could say. But for MSIevoGT, we have a full house, and this features the two players they poached away from Mineski, Iwi as well as RR. So it's a new Mineski, Santino, going over to that team, and then we have Iwi and RR now playing for MSI Evolution Gaming Team, and they get a Rubik to start things off. This should be a real treat to cast. Feel Good Inc., a team I am personally not as familiar with, but I've heard quite good things about them. And well, they give away a Rubik, but they pick up a Naga and a Nature's Prophet. Oh, sorry, did I say Mineski? I don't think so. I'm not. I know Santino is on a new team now, but I probably got that. I probably got that wrong. Oh god. Yeah, I'm probably being flamed right now in Skype actually for misspeaking. But I know Santino has moved to a new team, and MSIevoGT have picked up two of the players from MSI.
Dire team pick.
Invoker and Tidehunter, we'll talk about that later, guys. But Invoker and Tidehunter are going to be our two picks here for MSIevoGT. A lot of burst damage, strong laning heroes. Now some team fight as well. And I like how they're picking up the Rubik before the Tide, because we saw last game what happens when you don't get Rubik. Ravage stolen time and time again. For Feel Good Inc., picking up that very strong solo hero, the Queen of Pain. Normally, we expect to see the tri-lane and then two very powerful solo lanes for these players. That's normally how these teams like to run things. So then if that's the case, Queen of Pain and Prophet could be our two solos. Prophet not the strongest solo hero, but a decent solo hero, and that gives you great ganky potential, great split pushing potential. And then Naga, a great component to have in the tri-lane. So, Morphling, as well as the Enigma being banned out here in the second stage. Morphling, not sure he's even worth the ban, to be honest. Last game we saw, he can get very powerful, but he's just so much slower to start in the laning phase. Not as dominant, not as good at securing those early kills. He's still very scary with the big inventory, but it takes a long time to get there. So, for anyone who's just tuning in wondering sort of what's going on with the event, where we are in the tournament, we are now in the round of 8. You can actually check your brackets here. I'm going to post the link in the chat right now. But we are currently watching Feel Good Inc. facing off against MSIevoGT. This is single elimination all the way through, and it's still best of ones, I believe, all the way until the grand finals. So to the extent that is accurate, there's a lot on the line here. If you actually are able to win this, then not only you get to play in that grand finals up against stiffer competition, and you're fighting for a nice cash prize. And then if you win the GST Dota 2 event in Southeast Asia, you qualify to face off against some even better teams in the next event. So a lot at stake here for these teams, as well as pride. And the beautiful thing is that the Dota 2 scene in the Philippines, teams are not really established. They haven't played as much. So it's really anyone's scene to win. I mean, even in Dota 1, we've seen in the GST's International Dota Cups, every month it's different teams winning. Sure, you have your teams like Emacs, which are just dominating, winning a few more overall and always going far in the event. But there's still room for other teams to compete. There's not one team like Na'Vi in the European scene, which is just winning tournament after tournament. It's much more of an even split, and I feel in Dota 2 even more so. Chen getting the last ban here. I suppose FG Inc. had room for that jungler if they wanted to run him. They could run Prophet as a jungler. It's just not what we expect to see. And if it's going to be a tri-lane, then we're looking at a Rubik, Tidehunter, Ancient Apparition tri-lane, most likely. Invoker, that strong solo hero. And then possibly, I wonder what they'd pick for their other solo. Invoker can go off to the side lane. He gets in like a Slardar, a Dragon Knight to go mid. That's certainly an option for them. You could also run Rubik as a solo. We saw it last game from Mafia, and it worked out beautifully for them. I don't think we're going to see it. Normally, he is the tri-lane support, sort of the initiator for a tri-lane. And with Tidehunter, Ancient Apparition, Rubik, you have a guaranteed cold feet. You have a lot of lockdown, a lot of chasing power. I don't think we're going to see a solo Rubik, but it's certainly possible, and he would be very scary in this game. Stealing Screw of Pain, stealing Blink, stealing Queen of Pain Ultimate. Prophet ult, stealing teleport. I mean, I could go on all day, ladies and gentlemen, folks. It's a lot of stuff to steal. Let's be honest. Let's be honest about that one. But for the moment, FG Inc. needs something to support that Naga Siren. That much is clear for sure. Even if they run a jungle Prophet, even if they don't run him as a solo hero, they definitely need a support for that Naga. Should be farming in the safe lane. And then it could be a Prophet mid, could be a Queen of Pain off lane, or they could switch it up the other way around.
Venomancer.
Very powerful tri-lane here, and that's going to be our tri-lane. Alright, so... Or is it? Will it be a tri-lane? It could be... Let's try and wrap our heads around this one. So we have a Chaos Knight, Ancient Apparition. I think we're going to see a solo Rubik, a solo Invoker. Probably... I'm not sure who would go to safe lane and who would go to mid. And then a tri-lane with the Tidehunter, the Chaos Knight, Ancient Apparition. That is a devastating tri-lane. Now they have some powerful dual lane options. Rubik Tide is a pretty strong dual lane. Ancient Apparition, Chaos Knight's a very strong dual lane. The issue is that they don't have a really powerful off lane. So I guess you could throw Tidehunter there. But it's really not to be expected to see. Bounty Hunter's the final pick for Feel Good Inc. So are we going to see something different in Dota 2 from these teams? It's looking like it'll be a Jungle Prophet, a Suicide Lane Bounty Hunter, a Naga Siren and Venomancer dual lane, and then a Queen of Pain. And I feel if they run that Naga Siren Veno dual lane, and MSIevoGT run a tri-lane, the tri-lane could have a field day with the Veno, with the Naga. They won't be able to farm at all, won't be able to leave the tower, and could easily give up a first blood. Generally, dual lanes really do struggle against powerful offensive tri-lanes, and that's where you'd like to see something like an Earthshaker, sort of the third support, or something that's very strong defensively, a nice ranged hero perhaps. So if this could be an opportunity for MSI Evolution Gaming team to really take advantage here in the laning stage. But we'll see. We'll see for them. If they don't run the offensive tri-lane, I'm not really sure who they throw up there. And I think it is what we're going to see. Mist again, already picking up the Arena Protection. Looks like it'll be a quick Arena Basilius for him. A very important thing to have in the tri-lane. Chemo, the captain, going to be playing that Ancient Apparition. Wards picked up, important as well, to sort of get your control up, get your vision up. And that's how you can look to get kills early. Would love to see one being placed behind the tower for him as soon as possible. Iwi, the new blood for the team, you might say, playing that Rubik, actually has saved some gold. Could be going solo mid. And in that case, Tidehunter, this should be the third hero in the tri-lane. RR, the other transplant, finding his new home in MSIevoGT, no longer playing for Mineski. Down on the bottom lane, it's an old stalwart for MSIevoGT. It's Doc, going for the Quaswex Invoker, will be farming that safe lane. They anticipate the Bounty Hunter or the Suicide Lane. They will be correct. And Invoker should be fine against him. Not really going to be able to shut down Bounty Hunter completely. That should be okay. They want a first blood. Oh, no, JSN. Don't do it. Don't run in. But the Cold Feet is too late. Oh, it's only a 1 second stun. And he is going to live because he uses that Tree Fog to his advantage. No mana. Chasing anyway. He needs to hit quite a few auto attacks and not be able to do so. I think just hoping that Venomancer turns around to Gale. But wisely, the Venomancer does not. If this tree wasn't here, that is a first blood. Oh my goodness.
The battle begins.
So, for FG Inc., we have Naga Siren in the safe lane, will be supported by the Venomancer, but because Veno's sent back to base, this is a dangerous time for him. Unless they don't run the offensive tri-lane, which maybe they won't. It looks like they might shift into a pair of dual lanes, have the Tide pulling down for the Invoker. Nothing to pull right now with this Observer Ward. Oh, let's just finish introducing the player. Slap on the Queen of Pain. We're going to have Raisha playing the Prophet heading towards the jungle, starting with the Arena Basilius. Where is Treants? Normally you like to summon a pair before you actually leave the base, but I'm not seeing them on the minimap. Maybe he'll do some pulling. Can look to pull the small camp at first and then later go back and do some jungling. And finally in the off lane, it will be Gerber playing the Bounty Hunter, facing off against Doc. Somehow I am on buyback status. Definitely not the screen I was looking to have. 3 and 4 already for Iwi, just dominating this middle lane. Just getting a better creep block, fighting on his hill. 4 and 5, really impressive start for him. On the top lane is a dual lane up against a dual lane. They're in the safe lane, but they're not able to pull for the moment. You see Prophet starting to do a little bit of jungling with his Treants. These two dual lanes, I would say, are even, but the X factor will be the fact this Prophet can always show up to the fight, look to set something up. In fact, they want to go for a first blood here, and they might be able to do it. The net just scouting out that H apparition, but Chaos Bolt in the reality rift as he gets caught with cold feet, he's dead. Oh, that's your first blood. Raisha's gonna fall down. 400, just in time, right before Chemo drops. I think now missed again, just needs to get out of here. But he's man mode. He wants to fight, he's got a reality rift. He will be forced back in the end. And that's the power of that Ancient Apparition Chaos Knight combo. Just better for those early hero kills. Naga, you have great initiation with the net. You have good chase with the Gale, but it's not as strong as having these chain stuns. And when you run 3 heroes into that lane, and you go for a first blood, and you give one up, that is a big loss for your team. Level 3 on the Chaos Knight, 900 gold up, that means early boots, that means quick rid of Basilius, or maybe a bottle, because he kind of needs the mana as well. Does the support have anything for him? Chemo does. He's got the Clarity Potion picked up. That could help him out quite a bit. Oh, they could have pulled Kororo into the tower, but no mana for the stun. That is a kill if he has it, but probably scouting out the mana pool there. Oh my goodness, Iwi, you know, this is just brutal. 9 and 10 in the middle lane. 10 denies. Sure, it's easier to deny when you have Fade Bolt, when you can reduce their damage when you're fighting from the high ground. But Queen of Pain start with a Null Talisman. This is supposed to help you last hit. 10 and 10 for him. Denied almost every creep. Just outrageously strong play. The rune bottom, I guess it was picked up by the Bounty Hunter earlier. No, the Rubik actually picked that one up. So nothing for Queen of Pain. After that first blood, things settle down for a little bit. Mystic, again, interesting. He opts for the Ring of Health, not going for... You know, I really feel getting a bottle, going towards a pair of boots is going to do a lot more for you in the lane. The Ring of Health, sure, gives you some nice sustainability, but you have tangos for that. You've still got a lot of regen on your support. And the bottle is how you're going to get kills, but they may get one anyway here. 1 second stun and the cold feet. Look at the auto attack damage. Reality Rift, no mana for it. If he had the bottle, that's a kill. If he had the boots, that's a kill. But because he has neither, they get away. You definitely feel this item selection not working out as well as it could be, but might be able to get the profit anyway. Thinking about a Reality Rift, going for the Chaos Strike, going for that crit, not actually just leveling up the Reality Rift. It does scale quite well, but choosing to play this one, just feeling lucky, I guess you could say, missed again. He is feeling very lucky with the stuns, even though he hasn't been lucky so far. So now I'm totally befuddled, because middle lane, Iwi getting ganked by the level 4 Bounty Hunter, Slap, only level 4, tanking the tower, might even go down, sapped by the Fade Bolt! Oh goodness, they keep on rotating these extra heroes for ganks, and then getting just completely outplayed in the engagements. Rubik, not an easy hero to gank, because Fade Bolt really limits how much damage you're doing. Telekinesis can keep you in tower range and turn the fight around. Tower essentially serving as that extra source of damage, that hero for your team.
Middle tower is under attack.
But really, I mean, Chaos Knight 18 and 10 already, 18 and 13 on the Rubik. These two both leading the way as far as farmers go. And then on the safe lane Invoker, the top 3 farmers are all on MSIevoGT. And the Jungle Prophet is not exactly up to a fast start, level 3 at 5 minutes. Really gotta say, MSIevoGT is looking quite strong. I think the first Dota 1, or sort of well-known Dota 1 team from the Philippines that I've been impressed by in Dota 2. I've seen Mineski play a few times, and frankly, they did not look sharp at all, even compared to Dota 1, where they haven't been the best as of late, but still at least decent. In Dota 2, they've looked pretty terrible, to be honest. But in this game, MSIevoGT, to me, looking like more or less the same team, just dominating all the lanes, using that individual skill to their advantage, just outplaying their opponents. Now Rubik hits 6, he gets Blink. You probably want to steal the Scream of Pain. Blink is still a great ability to have, though. Blink into Telekinesis, lots of things you can do to set up kills, and now good luck ever ganking him. I mean, he's immortal at this point. Just don't even bother. You gotta try and find your kills elsewhere. I'm not sure where you find them, because Doc, Phase Boot's already picked up, all the way in the safe lane as well. Bounty Hunter, Sentry Ward for him. The auto attack's coming out. Oh, the Sunstrike, not quite there, but decently close. Meanwhile, top lane, Cold Feet into the Chaos Bolt, 4 second stun, and now Mystigan is a lucky man, and that's a kill. Now they can look to go perhaps onto this Venomancer. Chemo taking damage, Prophet taking quite a bit as well, and Apparition will fall, but Mystigan, no mana for anything, no mana. Really would like to have that bottle right now, but without the bottle, Arena Basilius regen. Over time, he'll get that mana pull back, but no extra Chaos Bolt. Could have had an extra kill there, but scores 3-2 now. FG Inc., in spite of the fact they've gotten a few kills, look how far behind they are. Just massively getting outfarmed in every lane. The Invoker dominating bottom. Half the time the lane is empty. Tide doing constant pulls towards this lane as well. And then, of course, in middle lane, we've seen Rubik crushing through 32 and 21 at 6.5 minutes. And then top lane, the kills were coming out for MSIevoGT. So everywhere they're getting more gold, they're getting more experience, just being more efficient. And it really begins with the strong solo play of Iwi for this team. Regen rune picked up on him, 960 gold at the moment. Wonder what he's going to go for next. Normally we see Arcane Boots, but with the regen rune, maybe you just go for Phase, maybe even go for Treads, just something that gives you a little bit more. But Arcane Boots is certainly a great choice. It looks like that's what he's headed to pick up right now. Getting that mana, and he needs it, especially with the Chaos Knight getting the Ring of Health. You need something. Bounty Hunter now rotates top. Journey's over here. All he's got are boots. Not really the most effective ganker, and oh no. In comes Rubik, but he might be too late. Ancient Apparition in a lot of trouble. Netted up. Cold Feet on the Bounty Hunter. Not a hero they can look to kill. I don't think they have vision here as well, either for that Bounty Hunter. Raisha TP's in, getting a little bit of extra golden experience for that assist. And now Iwi, no blink. Oh, he stole Plague Ward. That is definitely a blunder. Holding on to blink there would have saved him, but a telekinesis, a beautiful one on 3. Doesn't matter. I think he may die. No, the Fade Bolt bouncing through. Bounty Hunter diving too far for this Gerber. Gotta get out of tower range. Gotta get it missed, but ward blocks! Ward blocks! What an amazing play by Iwi. And meanwhile, Chaos Knight, it looks like he was able to pick up the Prophet, and he's still chasing. He's still diving. Doc joins the fight. Cold Snap into the Meteor. Double kill for Iwi. Sensational Rubik play from him. Last hitting beautifully. Stealing a spell that, frankly, is not very useful in a fight, but making it work. And let's be honest, Gerber, a little greedy there. Should not have been diving the tower. Once you get Fade Bolted at this point in the game, you have no damage whatsoever. That ward trap. Oh my goodness. Because otherwise Bounty Hunter goes invis here. And sure, you might kill him off eventually, but you're forced to use this. You're forced to use a Dust, you're forced to use a Sentry Ward, and you're forced to waste a lot of time. And there's even a decent chance he'll just be able to get out of tower range and escape. Just very impressive play so far. Massive gold lead for MSI, and I say that before I even look because, well, they just got a tower, they just won another fight. Score is now 6-3. Queen of Pain not off to a very strong start. Haystrom picked up on her, but just not really using it to kill. Did go for the early Scream of Pain max, only 1 point to Shadow Strike. If Scream of Pain gets stolen, that is going to be big trouble. There's so much burst damage. RR only level 5, but they can look to go. Gush onto Kuro. Telekinesis throwing one up. There are 4 heroes here. And one of the things the really powerful Pinoy teams do, the top teams like to do, they don't normally group up as 5. You'll always generally see at least 1 or 2 in each lane in this stage of the game. Queen of Pain out airballing that. Oh, slap. That's unfortunate. Still no track on Bounty Hunter. Janata, decent damage, but this is probably a dead bounty. The Gush being maxed out. Naga Sleep comes out just to try and help them escape, but walking out of range, you generally want a team TP, but they don't have the TP. They don't pop the smoke. Bounty still surviving behind the tower. They have detection for him. Nothing at the moment. The trap closes. Oh, wait. Oh, he was dusted. He was dusted, and that's how they get the kill. The Fade Bolt to bring him down. Meanwhile, notice they're still fighting without the Ancient Apparition. They're fighting without the Chaos Knight. And just more efficient movement around the map from MSIevoGT. Great individual play, but also just better decision making as a team. It's a quick Oblivion Staff, and it's not far off for this Invoker to get that Orchid up. Meanwhile, middle lane's a big dive on the Venomancer, Cold Feet, and the stun. Don't even need that Cold Feet to proc. Easy kills, and now with the towers falling top, the mid-tier 1 being pressured, the noose is tightening. Originally, you have about this area of control. Now, after this tower falls, we're looking at something like this. We might even be looking at this if the tier 1 drops bottom. The areas that are safe to farm, the areas that are safe to be active on the map, are slipping away pretty rapidly from FG Inc.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Gerber just really needs to get track. I feel spent too much time roaming in the early game, and you know, now just quite far behind. But he does hit level 6, picks up the magic wand, just anything that's cheap that's going to help him in team fights. Not going to be going for those early phase boots, not getting the early drum. Drum already complete on Iwi, and something coming in for the Chaos Knight. Vanguard up, and this is going to allow him to be so incredibly aggressive. Arcane boots on the Rubik now in the mid game means. Oh, are you serious? Oh, are you serious? Oh, Chemo, what a snipe by the captain. Oh, a beautiful snipe. Absolutely perfect. From long range, from downtown, he picks him off, and now nowhere is safe. Nowhere is safe. My goodness, and a Sunstrike as well. It's just airstrikes for this team. You really can't be, you can't live anywhere. Maybe in the Fountain, that might be a good place. I mean, it's not quite at that point, but this combo of Sunstrike and Apparition just so good at sniping heroes off. I've seen it before, and when you have a good start especially, it gets very difficult to deal with. Prophet ult bounces through, but doesn't do too much. Missed again. Oh, nice job. Justice joining the Chaos Bolt. This was one of the big changes in the recent patch. It now has a travel time. It is much more dodgeable than it used to be, although still pretty hard to dodge. That keeps her alive. Track from RR, onto RR. They knew Gerber was in the area. They dropped the Sentry Ward, but not able to actually give vision on him. And the nice thing is that they do have a Prophet for FG Inc. If they didn't have a Prophet, I feel this game is pretty much over. But having the Prophet at this point, you can jungle, you can split push pretty effectively. They have such a powerful ganking lineup, but you can kind of just avoid them by seeing where they are on the map. It's going to be very difficult to come back. Blink in, and then telekinesis as well, pulling him back, bringing him down, easy kills being claimed. And they can keep on doing that. Prophet's got to start split pushing. That's what we're seeing now from Raisha. TP's up towards top. Gets the hand of Midas up. I think you got to go big with this Prophet. You got to go for a big ticket item. I think something like a Scythe of Ice. I mean, maybe a mechanism could be decent, but I really feel getting something big is how you're going to win this game. Kororo, oh no, he is the sleep, but he doesn't actually have any ability to lead to TP out. He didn't have the mana for it. He should be okay though. Still Hoofy out of there. No, actually not, because Chemo coming in. Invis, Cold Feet into body block. That'll be a kill if he can claim it, or just wait for that Invoker. Drop the Cold Snap, but just out of range. Everybody just out of range, and I think they're going to escape. The tier 1 was defended top, but also not denied, so not too bad of a result. Chemo can scout things out. Now Prophet ult bouncing through. And Chemo's on the hunt. He's out for blood. Remember, there's no Naga sleep. This is a dead Naga, or a dead Prophet, or a dead nobody because he TP's away. Oh, and the Naga is going to juke towards the top lane. Has the TP scroll. Oh. I think you just killed the Naga there, even though she's a bit tankier than the Prophet is. Chaos Knight definitely could have locked her down, and they have the chain stun to bring her down. Couple of missed opportunities for MSIevoGT, but now they have an Orchid online, and this next level of items coming out is just going to make life incredibly difficult. High farmer of the game will be Doc, 5,900 gold for him, but really the big impact player so far has been the Rubik being played by Iwi. Something perhaps on the courier for him. What is it? Well, Sunstrike just going to miss, or that would have been the death of the Naga. But it might be anyway. He's got a TP out. Iwi charges in. Head full of steam. Hasterin on him. Not going to get in range in time. The one issue for FG Inc. is they have a lineup that kind of needs to be ahead. They're not as good at clashing. Raisha tries to TP out. Cold Feet. Ravage. They're tired of these escapes, these shenanigans, and they're just going to make sure they get that kill with the Ravage. FG Inc. having heroes like Rubik, Prophet, Queen of Pain, Venomancer. I mean, even a hero like Queen of Pain or Venomancer, they're decent team fighters. They give you a lot of damage. But oh, the Orchid! Gerber, what a time for that Invis to run out. And he should be dead. Deafening Blast. No! Apparition ult not going to connect. Where's the Sunstrike? Cooldown on that Invoke. 10 seconds. Not going to be able to use it. Gerber lives to fight another day. Bold! Bold, sir. And perhaps too bold, because now Telekinesis instantly bursting down that Venomancer. And now steals the Shadow Walk. Probably wanted to get his hands on track, but he'll take what he can get. Silence on the slap. They're not respecting this Orchid, but the bottle keeping him alive. Now the zap from Iwi, but not a good trade, giving up that kill. And wasn't even a track kill, I don't think it was, but just so much gold, so much experience, because MSIevoGT is so far ahead. But then they get this second level of kills. They also get the Bounty Hunter, and now it's looking like a pretty good trade. Prophet pressuring the top lane is going to go for the mech. Could be a decent item this game. The issue is going to be he's just so squishy. You got to TP in at the perfect time. Maybe you sleep into a TP mech. Maybe that's how you turn these fights around for FG Inc. MSIevoGT, not a team to stand back. Stealing the wards. Gonna be using these to push, so it's a bit of a ward wars as I miss an Invoker. Solo kill onto the Prophet top lane. even if he had a TP scroll, but with Cold Snap, there's just no chance you're getting that off. Cold Snap into Deafening Blast. Might have even been a Sunstrike there as well, but really just the raw right clicks. Doc can find these solo kills on pretty much any hero, even Queen of Pain. Normally very easy to survive and escape on. Not so. Not the case when you have something like an Orchid. Sanj now picked up onto the Chaos Knight. In comes the Shuriken, just trying to do a little bit of damage. But at some point, it feels like MSIevoGT is going to say, alright, enough. Jump in and just overwhelm them. Even not having the Ravage. 30 seconds to go on that. Blink Dagger up on the Tidehunter as well. And here we go. Iwi juking in, juking out. Remember, the air support is always here. Another solo kill for Doc. Oh, Doc. Oh, Doc. Getting him with the Orchid burn at the very end. Both of the solo players, really. Doc just having such a powerful game. The same with Iwi. Just showcasing their individual skill, their talent, and making the difference here for this team. When you win all 3 lanes, the game gets incredibly difficult. Queen of Pain for the enemy team. Queen of Pain blinking away on the high ground, barely escaping with her life. And now I think the tower will finally fall. Look at where the place that R has managed to find his way into. Just sort of navigating up through these trees. I think they know he's here. Because if they try and defend, if you try and sit anywhere here, that's where Tide comes in. With the blink, with the Ravage, and just easily kills your team off. Another solo kill. Doc just finding all the kills, and now the Shadow Strike as well. Queen of Pain ult. Will it be enough? I think he's gonna live. Dropping low. Stolen back by Iwi, just assassinating him. And still the Invoker survives, sustains. Venomancer drops the ult. Venomancer just gets obliterated from the face of the planet. Oh, what a sensational Rubik play this game. The 2 solo players just finding all the pickoffs. What a spell to steal as well. Stealing Sonic Wave. Sunstrike? Where the hell was that one? I actually have no idea. Well, either way, when you're ahead, best thing to do, put some wards down. I mean, you know, talk about having some map control. This is why we're seeing Invoker finding these solo kills all over the place. Iwi with full rune control, full map control. Now he gets himself a 4-staff, and you know it's Pinoy Dota, because he's going to just continue bottling up, getting that mana pool going again. Just being as efficient as possible with the courier, making sure it's always working overtime, doing everything it can. Something stolen by Rubik, who 4-staffs his way in. Dead Venomancer. In fact, pulled into the pit because missed again once that kill. He says, this one's for me, sir. 4-0-5 for him. 8-1-2. How are we looking for the kills? 8-1-2 on the Rubik. 3-0-4 onto the Invoker. Really, everyone having an impact. MSIevoGT playing as a unit, playing as a team in this game. There's no dead weight on this team. Just lots of contributions all around. Aegis drops. They're just chilling here in the pit. They would love for someone to try and show up and look to steal that and probably pay with their life, and they're not going to risk it. You know, I mean, you have a Naga. I almost think maybe you try and use your ult to jack that, but it would just be so difficult to get in raid, especially with the kind of vision that MSIevoGT have. The concern is going to be, where does the comeback come from? And right now, I don't know where it will come from. It's just such a big lead. Mystigan uses the ult. This is probably going to be the tier 3. It looks like MSIevoGT poised to claim this for Axe, and with that, full control of this game. 4-step now up on Doc as well. Everybody getting more and more items for MSIevoGT. Blinking to the Ravage, only catching the Bounty Hunter. They even have vision for him. A late Sentry Ward gets placed. And then the sleep. Oh no! Miscommunication. Big time. And Rubik can look to steal that. He's got the 4-step. Not able to get in range, but he wants to steal something. What does he steal? It's the sleep. He steals the sleep. Not really the best spell because this team just wants to kill the big meteor. Oh man, fire galore. Anchor smash, RR, just trying to live. Too tanky. They pull back in the Bounty Hunter, and now the silence, and then he's in a lot of trouble. Queen of Pain with the scream. Can't bring anyone down. Triple kill for Doc. Absolutely fantastic play. And now the sleep. Thrown back the other way. Iwi just, why the hell not? Just use the sleep. Not even helping his team, but who cares whatsoever. GG is called by FG Inc. But this is Pinoy Dota. They will call GG and then probably fight on until they're losing their throne. Maybe even until they lose their Fountain. Doc finds another kill on the Bounty Hunter. just not where you want to be. It's not a good game to be an underfarm bounty hunter because they're always going to have sentry wards on the supports. They're always going to have the lockdown, the silences, the disables to bring you down instantly. Something stolen again by Iwi. This time it's the mirror image. An army of Rubiks. Oh, you shitty wizard. You shitty, shitty wizard. Kuroro really shouldn't be here. There's something about that deafening blast when you just drive them back with it and they die to the damage. Just so satisfying, so visceral. It's like driving a car through the glass wall of a shop. You know, it's like you go to a coffee shop, but instead of just walking in the door, you blast a car through the window, and you get at it that way. That's kind of how it feels when you kill something with Deafening Blast. So satisfying to me to watch as a spectator. There's the meteor. Not really the best meteor, to be honest. Kind of hard to land that one without the setup. The Deafening Blast was still cooling down there. A just completely wasted by RR, but totally fine. Rubik now has the Blink Dagger. Blinks on in, Scream to go. RR taking some damage. Shadow Strike as well. Should be taking a fall here soon. They call the GG, but of course they're fighting on. And WoW not able to actually... It's held in place by the net for the moment, but he'll be okay. He's still going to get that kill. Doc taking a lot of damage. Dropping low. Ult assassinates one. Doc 4-step away. Surviving. Sustaining. But Kuroro comes in, cleans that up. Chemo gets another. Chemo just out of control this game. Gem on him. Triple kill this time for Mystigan, who was busy diving the base with those illusions. Now he goes Ravage just to get the Naga. Well, he got the Naga. And you can't argue with the results, folks. You cannot argue with the results.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I love this army of Rubik illusions, just really helping them to push effectively.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Everybody gets some illusions. The Chaos Knight gets a few, the Rubik gets a few. It's looking pretty good in that respect. Earn onto RR, Blink on in, 4-step in as well. Venomancer just calmly slithers back to base. Gotcha, he says. But gotcha he hasn't. Gerber just winding his way through the tree line. But they see him. They spotted him out. And he's dead. It's just a matter of time now. No, they're not going to find him. Instead, they go in the Venomancer. You know, when this is the only safe place on the map, right here, you got problems. You got some big problems. And I don't really know what their plan is. Queen of Pain ult is available. Maybe they can assassinate. There's your ult. Decent damage. Not enough. Mystigan doesn't care. He charges through the damage, runs into the fire, starts chopping away, smacking, battering, bashing everyone to bits, to smithereens. Reality Rift back in again. Now sprouted inside a horrible tree prison created. Kuroro gonna fall to this one. Should be dead. That was not Iwi. Godlike indeed. Chaos Knight just absolutely out of control. And if the fountain isn't safe, perhaps JSN will have better luck this way. Just kind of using this tower to keep himself alive for the moment, but we all know the next level of dives are coming soon. GG's come out again, and I think this time is the actual GG's, as they are losing 2 lanes of Rex. Ward's even being placed in the base. No, reconnect from Kuroro. Wants a little bit more of this action. Hasn't been beaten down enough this game. Poor guy. Tough game for this FG Inc. squad. Going up against such an experienced team. So many stars from the Pinoy scene in this game on the MSI squad. The new squad as well. Looking quite good, I gotta say. In our first peek at life with these Mineski players coming over, transplanted into MSI Evolution Gaming Team. But it looked good. The lanes were solid. The individual play was there. The hero selection's pretty strong, and overall, I think it was a really well-played game by them. Nice Ghost Scepter, perfect for the fountain dives. Slap the lone survivor. Ayo, barely gonna miss. No, it hits! It hits, but they don't get the Queen of Pain. Well, that does it for MSIevoGT versus FG Inc. Really just another level of play, to be totally honest. MSIevoGT crushes through them, advances on in the round of 4, and of all the teams I've cast so far in this tournament, they are by far the favorites to take it. There were a lot of teams saying that, oh god, what was it? A lot of teams saying that Paga, Big T, and C were really a top team in the Dota 2 scene, but cast them earlier was not nearly as impressed as I was by MSI Evolution Gaming Team. So that does it for this series, guys. We will be coming back soon, and I believe we will be moving on to the semifinals for the GST Dota 2 Philippine Qualifier. I have been your host, LD of dotacommentaries.com for this one. If you enjoy my casting, make sure to follow me, facebook.com/ldDOTA. If you use Twitter or YouTube or anything like that, twitter.com/ldDOTA. VOD should be available on youtube.com/ldDOTA. And give me, if you want to post on my Facebook, well, I'm happy to give you a shout out on the stream. Thank you all very much for tuning in, and stay tuned because we still have the semifinals and the grand finals to go. Which Pinoy team will be advancing into the main event for the GST Dota 2 tournament? We're going to find out soon, so stay tuned for that.